Welcome back to our number 2 of Andy Goldstein Sports Bar with me, Andy Goldstein, old Hopalong Cundy over there, and we can welcome to the studio Noel Gallagher. Noel, good evening to you.
How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah, you knackered?
I am, yeah. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning.
You got jet lag. Where have you been?
I've been to, I've just come back from Japan and South Korea.
How's the tour going? Is it good? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's finished now for a bit. It was brilliant, yeah. I've been on the road since March, and then I've got now till December off.
That's a long time with the family. You've got to talk to people now. And
yeah, got to moving house again.
Hold on. The Octagon House, where's that? Are we still?
Oh no, the Octagon's still there.
Okay.
It's still there.
Is it used for anything?
No, it's not. It's actually looking a bit sad. I don't think. I think there's some rabbits use it and a couple of stray foxes, but apart from that, no, it's pretty pathetic.
Is
really.
that the house that's been sold?
No.
Okay.
We're just moving. We're moving up the same street.
Why? Do you want to, or is it Mrs. G?
No, we want to. No. Why? Because I don't know. They've got bigger garden and all that kind of thing. You know what it's like.
And the tour's going well. You enjoying it? Do you enjoy touring?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long time though, isn't it?
Yeah, but these tours, they're longer now because kids don't buy records anymore. So you've got to kind of, Rockstar ain't going to give up his lifestyle for any of that, you know what I mean? So
if they don't buy records, where's the money made then? Is it just in touring?
Money's made on touring, yeah.
Merchandise?
There's a bit of merchandise, yeah. There's not a great deal, though, it's got to be said. I don't see anybody wearing it, that's for sure, apart from my kids.
What's the most bonkers country that you've been to so far, where they just go Noel crazy?
Oh, Italy is quite mad. South Korea is insane. Japan is... Scotland.
Just anywhere, really?
No. It's England's always been pretty great, but I'd say it's quite tricky to go to shops in Rome and Seoul and Tokyo. I just get girls like crying in the street, so it's bizarre.
They're crazy anyway. They love the,
They're just weird and stalkerish, and they kind of follow you around, giving you like little tiny minute gifts, for your kids and stuff like that.
Has anyone ever broken into your hotel room while you've been in there? Have you had any really crazy stalkers?
Well, stalkers is one way of putting it.
And yeah, as soon as that word came out, I thought maybe I shouldn't use that word.
Back in the 90s, yeah, a few stalkers might have broke in, and I might have had to wrestle them naked to the floor.
Yeah,
and
out of choice.
Yeah, and they might have handcuffed me once or twice, but
Luckily, they didn't take pictures.
You're not an angry stalker.
Well, that's a whole nother show.
No, we've got time. Let me ask you about. There was a picture you texted me of you with a few Hollywood people. Do you remember?
Oh.
Do you not remember that? He's thinking about it now. Can I mention it? I mean, it doesn't matter.
No. Let's just do it off. Let's do it off air. And I'll see if you can mention it.
I'll write down the name. I'm sure it's fine. Right. I'll write down one of the people. That
he was on about it all night.
No, I mentioned it. There you go. I'm sure it's fine. He was in the picture.
Oh, Mickey Mouse and Goofy, yeah, man, yeah. Yeah, we was at Disney World, and
I can't
they are real.
that
They're
night.
real. There's real people inside those costumes.
Did I not mention that night then? No, you don't have to. I've not mentioned it.
Well, yeah. No, let's not mention
Okay,
it.
fine.
Let's not mention it.
Can I have that bit back? All right, mention it. Listen, we got you in, of course, because we're not going to talk music. Because I'm guessing you're bored with that and you're back from tour now. We're going to talk football because we're very lucky. Of course, we've got a great relationship with you, and you very kindly, not just tonight, but the last 3 or 4 years, you've either come in or you've done a big podcast for us looking ahead to the football season. And that's what we want to do tonight. We want to just talk football. We're going to talk with your beloved Man City first. We're going to talk from everything from City to all the teams in the Premier League, the teams that have come up, and a bit of England chat as well, and so on. But we're talking with Man City. And the big news, of course, is Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
The £49 million greyhound, as I call him, has signed for your club. Firstly, what do you make of the amount of money that you paid for him, and what do you make of how he left Liverpool under that cloud?
Well, the money is a Man City price, isn't it? If he was going anywhere else, it might have been 39 million. But the money's by the by. City always have to pay silly money for players anyway. The way that it happened. When I'm away, I listen to Talksport a lot, and just the overreaction from Liverpool fans and Liverpool ex-players was mental. Do you know what I mean? I mean, as I understand the chain of events, is before the end of last season, they offer him a contract, and he says, I'm not signing it because I don't think it's good enough. So the club put that out there, right? So they've no need to put that out there that he's. And I remember Rodgers saying we've offered him a fantastic contract and he won't sign it, even though he's got 2 years left. So they're throwing him under the bus, right? So he has stupidly done that interview where he's countered that by saying whatever he said, and then Liverpool and their fans then being like the shop stewards of the Premier League. I'm not having that. You know what I mean? You had all the ex-players, with this fake, like indignation that he was leaving their beloved club. You know what I mean? And he funnily enough, he was the only one that's speaking any sense during it, because he was saying.
By the way, he's pointing to Jason, not Raheem Sterling. They can't see that on radio.
Well, saying that these are footballers. He's a once-in-a-lifetime chance for this lad. Now, whether City are a bigger club than Liverpool or whatever is by the by. It's like, if he doesn't get that deal and he sees out one more year, so he can learn off the greats like Jordan Henderson and Brendan Rodgers and develop himself as a player. What if he breaks his toe? Then his chance of Champions League football might be gone.
The best way I heard it was someone describing leaving Liverpool. It's like trying to leave Scientology. And the way the Liverpool fans...
Do you know what I mean?
And you can't... How dare he leave? Well, actually, he has a right to turn the contract down. He has every right to decide his own future.
Of course. But particularly when they've put that out there saying we've made this lad a and the tone of what Rodgers was saying was, this young lad, we've given him a fantastic contract. How dare he not sign it? And then after that is he takes 2 days off training. Now, that's come from the club as well, because... The club doctor has evidently said, you can't go into training. But the club, then they'd and the ex-Liverpool players are driving the agenda. Mickey Quinn's calling him a snake on Talksport, and it's like, give over, man. You're doing Vanilla Ice jingles in the afternoon. Come on, man.
But also as well...
The lad's trying to make a living so he doesn't have to do that in later life.
This is the way it works. This is the way it works, is that the reason he left QPR to go to Liverpool is for a better opportunity to go and win things and play at the highest level and earn more money. And he's done exactly the same thing from leaving Liverpool to go to Man City. That's all he's done.
But the debate about loyalty in football... let's Andy Carroll, for instance. He's a Geordie lad, Newcastle fan. He's just plodding along up there. He's the big number 9. He's king of the street. Liverpool come in and put a ridiculous bid in for him. He says, I don't want to leave. But Newcastle say, well, you're leaving because we've accepted the bid. So he kind of, with his arm twisted, thinks, oh, OK then. He comes all the way down to Liverpool. 18 months later, a new manager comes in and says, by the way, we don't want you, so see you later. So loyalty works both ways. So you get the Liverpool fans on the radio saying there's no loyalty in football, but they cast Andy Carroll aside.
But does it matter? Because it was quite a messy episode. We had Raheem Sterling's agent coming out and saying, listen, he's not signing a deal, even if it was £900,000 a week. Does that matter that the episode wasn't clean? For argument's sake, and I'm not using a Man United player on purpose, but David De Gea, we sort of get the idea that he wants to leave Man United, he wants to go to Spain, but he's not come out, his agent... It's been dealt with totally differently, although the outcome could be the same. Does that matter that the Raheem Sterling was quite a messy episode, or not?
I don't think it matters to him. It certainly doesn't matter to City fans. It won't matter to anybody at City at all, I don't think. Because all that matters now is the way that he plays for City. He's going to get crucified when he goes back to Anfield, but he'll be ready for that, and they're going to boo him when they come to the Etihad, but he'll be ready for that. But I just think it's the modern way these days, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like... there's a lot of ex-Liverpool players in the media, and there's going to be, over the next 10 years, a lot of ex-United players. Rio, the two Nevilles, Beckham, Scholes, Giggs. So this is only going to get worse. And then Chelsea are going to have these ex-players, Lampard and Chelsea and Ashley Cole. City haven't got any players like that to defend the club. Do you know what I mean? Because Mike Summerby and, Danny Mills, an ex-City player. He's not ex-City. You know what I mean? And so you get the Liverpool players, the ex-Liverpool players driving the agenda, and it becomes a story, and it just takes off. You know what I mean? I don't remember Wayne Rooney being as vilified for trying to leave Man United. For claiming the mighty Manchester United had no ambition. That was kind of like, it was very rationally discussed in the press. Oh, well, have they got no ambition?
I think also as well, the fact that he is so young it's a 20-year-old that's doing this.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he has an agent. His agent's job was to get him out of Manchester, to get him out of Liverpool, to get to Man City. That's his job, and everyone's vilifying this agent. The agent's done his job. That's the sort of agent you want.
Of course.
To do that job.
Of course.
And he's left a football club that, let's be brutally honest about this, they're going to struggle for top 4 next season. Why should he stay at a football club where he feels, and he was the go-to guy last season, he was the man, he played him at wing-back, played him number 10, played him down the middle. There was 3 strikers. There was Balotelli, Barini and Lambert all sitting on the bench at some stage, and they played him down the middle. And they didn't offer him a contract the year they nearly went. That was the mistake they made. You want him, go and offer him 150 grand the year they nearly won the title, and they didn't.
Yeah, because he's obviously seen Balotelli come in, who's getting probably twice his wages and for doing nothing, you know. And you know, you get all the fans saying he's only gone for the money. But Liverpool have sold him for the money because they didn't have to sell him. Because 6 months before it was like, we are not selling him, we're not selling him, not selling him, not selling. We're selling him for 50 though. You know what I mean? So it's all. I mean, it's just the modern game.
Are you happy with him? Is he the sort of player that excites you as a Man City fan?
I think he gives us the one thing we've never had, which is electric pace.
Played well pre-season, you know.
He has played good. I've seen a couple of the games. I wish we were signing a couple of £49 million centre halves, if I'm being honest. But I think he's going to be great. He looks like he's got a little partnership going with Silva already, and I think he's an absolute starter for sure.
People are saying he's going to sit on the bench.
No, people aren't saying that, are they?
People have been saying that.
No,
he's going
you don't spend 50 million and sit. I'll be amazed if anyone thinks that.
I tell you who said that. The head shaver, right? He phoned up when you were away filming. He phoned up and said that he will be on the bench. He said, "I'll phone up at Christmas. I guarantee he doesn't start."
Yeah, but he was a Liverpool fan. He's going to say that.
But he's the one that said it.
Well, but don't you find that hypocritical as well? Because I remember going up to Anfield for the running for the title, and they beat us that day, and Sterling was amazing, and all the Liverpool fans. He was the greatest English player since Paul Gascoigne, and I've got 2 Scousers, diehard Liverpool fans in my band and crew, and. On the turn of a hat, it was like, you can have him 50. He's rubbish anyway. He's rubbish. It's just like, well, it's proven that the better the team he's in, the better he performs. You know.
More for myself, Jay. And more importantly, Noel Gallagher. We're talking football all night. Do not miss it. That was, of course, the new single "Lock All the Doors" on Noel's new album "Chasing Yesterday." You still hate the name of that album?
Yeah. It's not getting any better in any language.
Why don't you change it and re-release it? I know it cost a couple of £1 million, but just do it. What would you call it now?
Some might say I've been doing that since 1994.
What would you change it to now? The conversation was right. We are going to rename it now.
Do you know what? I don't know. I still haven't come up with it. People ask me that all the time. I still haven't come up with it.
About Spotty Little Kid.
Spotty Little Kid, yeah. I remember that was funny that day. It was like you caused a right lot of trouble that day.
I did, yeah. Yeah, well, you know, people making out that Fabian Delph should think about people on the terraces when he's got his own career to think about.
Well, let's talk about Delph now. Of course, another signing. I had a conversation with your brother Paul, right, on the text, and when he said I don't want to sign for Man City, I jokingly texted him, look at that, even Fabian Delph doesn't want to join City, and he replied, yeah, we don't want someone like that, he'll just sit on the bench. Then of course he signed, and I was like, he's a great player now I don't mind him.
I thought out of the two signings, that one was the oddest one. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for him anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because he's got to get in front of Yaya, Silva, Nasri, Sterling, Fernandinho, and Fernando. Now,
Fernandinho one, I'm not sure about those two.
I know, but what I'm saying is, he's like, I mean, there's like 6 other players in front of him there. Do you know what I mean? Experienced players, and he's got an hamstring to start off, so he's going to miss the first 4 weeks. So.
Is it bad for England that someone like that, you know, 9 times out of 10 he's either starting for England or he's certainly on the
what's
substitute?
Ever good for England?
No, but I just wonder that if someone that is on the fringe of playing for England all the time, if he signs for a big club and can't get in the starting 11.
Well, what about Paul Scholes was playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world, he couldn't get in the starting 11. You know, Frank Lampard couldn't get in the starting 11. It's just, forget the England thing is another thing altogether. That's over there. That's just just chaos. Do you know what I mean? That shouldn't have no bearing on any of the transfer things between 2 English clubs. But the Delph thing, I'm interested to see how that one works out, because
okay, why have you bought him?
I think it's probably to replace James Milner.
Plus it's a no-brainer.
Kind of, do you know what
financially,
I mean?
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
£8 million. I mean, come on,
I mean,
that's not even a risk.
No, I mean it's easy. I mean,
And he's English.
Cheap. Yeah,
It's, you pay 8 million just to be English.
It's cheap. Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. You know what I mean? He's a good player.
He might surprise a few, I mean, he's not top draw, but he's one of those that can come in and do a job. And Fernandinho, I've not been totally impressed with him. I think that he can give those two a run for the money.
He's the wrong side of 30 now anyway. So, but he might have a season of being on the fringes, and then he might become a regular star. But what I do like about the players that City have been linked with is they're all in the 20s. Do you know what I mean? So they're obviously building for the next 5 or 6 years.
How many players? I want to move on from City in just a moment. We've got so much to talk about, but just quickly, how many more players does City need to bring in before the window closes?
I think they'll only get one. I think you should only ever buy 3 in the window. That was the golden rule by all the great managers, wasn't it? I think if you buy more than 3,
so that one being a centre half.
I think it looks like De Bruyne is the one. I think if Sterling and De Bruyne were not available right now and they had to get them now, I think they'd probably go for centre halves. But if De Bruyne goes elsewhere, he's going to be tied up for 5 years. So I think because they're so young and they're available, they're going to get them now and try and outscore everybody else. And I think the league will be decided on 2 factors: is can we score more goals than Chelsea can keep out of their net? Is really how it's
What about Pellegrini? Because I know we spoke to you the back end of towards the end of last season. You were in favour of keeping. I didn't think he'd be in situ now. I thought he'd be gone. I think he's on. I think he's on borrowed time anyway. This is a big season for a number of managers, but
he won't even if he wins the league and the Champions League this year. I don't think he'll keep his job. I think they're gearing up for Guardiola on it.
I think if Guardiola was available, I don't think Pellegrini will be here now.
Me neither. They would have offered him a new contract, wouldn't they? Surely. And I think they might get to that part in the season if the players know he's going.
Yeah.
If he knows he's going.
That's a danger. Yeah.
That might the season, and it say we're struggling, it might kind of peter out a little bit. But who knows?
And top priority for City this season: Champions League or Premier League?
The Champions League, no, it's a bit of a mystery to us, isn't it? It's not really took off at City.
No,
it's not really took off.
You said to us once that it's much more important to win the Premier League than it is Champions League.
Yeah.
You still stand by that?
Absolutely. See, it's different for you lot because you lot won 19 titles, and it's different for Chelsea because it was their
20.
That was
20. No.
that was kind of their next logical step. They'd done everything. We're kind of new to it at the minute. I would, if you're asking me now, would I rather see City lift the Champions League or the Premier League? Be the Premier League.
Yeah, I'd go
every day.
Okay, let's talk about Manchester United. A few players have come in there, including Schneiderlin and Schweinsteiger.
Yeah.
What do you make of United at the moment?
I think there's a lot of questions. I think it's going to be interesting. I think Schweinsteiger, I don't know what all that's about.
What do you mean you don't know what that's about?
Well, he's kind of, it's Man United have cast aside the legendary. It's not the Man United way to buy short term. All they're doing is buying short term players now. The Falcao thing and Di Maria thing is embarrassing. If they take a 40 million bath on that's embarrassing.
Well, I don't think. I mean, I obviously still want him to stay at the club. I thought that, of course, it wasn't the best year for anyone to have in the Premier League last year, but he had a lot of stuff happening off the pitch as well. And I think it takes time to adjust. He started off playing really well.
Yeah, but the manager's playing him in all sorts of different positions.
That's obviously the problem.
I think Schweinsteiger, he's got no pace. He might do that thing, I don't know. But Schneiderlin is a good player. Depay, I don't know anything about him. I don't know.
He looks good. Yeah, well, I've seen him in pre-season. He looks good. Looks fast.
Yeah, but pre-season, all my mates are Man United fans. Pre-season this, pre-season that. Didn't you win everything pre-season last season? Picked up a load of trophies and finished 4th.
Yes. All right. Okay. But I'm just saying, I can only judge him on what I've seen so far, and he looks good. He's not the finished article by any means, but
I got to say, I think that United's weakness is the same as City's. It's going to be at the back. And United are still across that back 4. Luke Shaw, if he was going to do it, would have done it by now, I'm afraid.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I think...
Well, he's still a young kid, He was injured a lot last season.
But if you sign for one of the biggest clubs in the world and be constantly told you're not fit enough, what is going on there? And it's not like he's had injuries. He's just...
He did have a few last season. And he was, by his own admission now, he wasn't as match fit and sharp as he should have been.
He started towards the end of the season to look like the player that I saw 18 months ago at Southampton. He started to really look.
But
that
I still
player.
think there's questions across that back four. And if the keeper goes, that's a massive blow.
Do you know what?
I agree with
the
that.
thing is,
I agree with
I don't think Van Gaal looked at the squad close enough. I think I felt the reason he brought in Daley Blind and Rojo was I don't think he was too sure about Shaw. And that he's very left. I think the squad is very lopsided. But I'm amazed that he hasn't identified the same problem you just mentioned about the two centre halves. Why, if they're after Ramos, that tells me and you that they need a ready-made replacement that can go and hit the ground running.
Absolutely.
So if they don't go and buy that Ramos type character, he wanted one. So why has he not gone out and found someone else? That's a strange area.
What's the minimum requirement for Man United this season? How do you think they'll do?
If they'll finish third, I think it's between. I still think it's between City and Chelsea. I still think they've got the best players, and I think United will finish. If United finish one place higher than they did last season, that's progress, isn't it? You know?
Look at his face.
You know.
It would be over the last two, I imagine. Yeah, but if they manage to keep hold of their goalkeeper,
I mean, for me personally, if Rooney
That's
breaks
a must.
both his legs, it'd be a fantastic season.
don't set you can't. That's not nice. You can't wish it on anyone.
Don't care.
You'd have him at your club like that.
Who?
Rooney.
Would have.
You'd have him now.
But
He's-
before the hair transplant, I would have had it. But that's just embarrassing.
When did you have a hair transplant?
Eh? Embarrassing.
We got more from the wonderful Noel Gallagher in just a moment right here, live on Talksport. Of course, Riverman. I'm Chasing Yesterday, one of my favouritely named albums. Noel Gallagher's with us in the studio. By the way, if you've got a DAB radio and you would have pressed your green button, you would have heard everything that was said in the break.
No way.
That would have been interesting. eh?
Wow, look at his face.
Not embarrassing on my behalf.
Hey, that would have got the peer off the front page of the Red Tops.
Indeed.
Let's do a couple of quick Ask Knowles, if that's okay. Liam's dad has said, other than Man United, are there any clubs you
my
dislike? Not yours. That would be weird. wouldn't it?
Liam's dad.
Other than Man United, any other clubs you dislike?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, quite a few. Don't
You
care.
don't like Chelsea, do you?
I don't mind. I don't. I'm not. I don't hate him as much as Tottenham. I can't stand Tottenham.
You hate Tottenham as a
Yeah.
City fan. Why?
I just always. It's always. There's the one ground I go to when I go to the football matches that just get abuse off Tottenham fans. Some guy come up to me in the bar once in the posh bar. It was half time. I think we were winning 5-0 or something, and we were just having a drink. Some guy walks up to me and went, "Yeah, you drink like a girl." So I was kind of. We kind of looked at each other and was like, "How do girls? What?"
Did you put your baby sham down?
I was just thinking, what a stupid thing to say. It's like one of the time when I came into a game late at Watford, and I got taken in with the gates were shut, but the police took us in. We had to walk us around the pitch, and as we were walking past the family stand, somebody shouted, "Oi, Gallagher, get lost!" Get lost. Like, you can do better than that.
I'm so glad you toned that down for us. George,
No, he did actually say "get lost." That was his exact words in a quiet Vicarage Roadster, whatever it is they play these days.
Well,
Like-
you don't want to go walking around the edge of the pitch.
Oh, no. What are you
must
doing
have,
that
you
for?
must have thought to yourself, "I'm going to get it here."
Yeah, it was awful. Yeah.
George Dawson says, "What's your favourite ever City strip?"
I do like the new one. The one that we won the FA Cup in recently is a great one because the socks had maroon on them.
That was your idea, wasn't it?
That was my idea, yeah. And our third kit this season is appalling.
What
It's
colour's
like,
that?
Oh, fluorescent lime green or something. I hope we never have to wear it. It's dreadful. I don't mind. All our kits actually been pretty good.
Okay.
They're pretty good.
Max Springer, it's an interesting one. Would Noel rather play at the Etihad, full of United fans, or Old Trafford, full of City fans?
Oh.
Good question.
Wow. Somebody asked me a question once that was as good as that, which was, would you rather be a fat Mick Jagger or a bald Rod Stewart?
Oh, say
is
that
a-
again.
which
Say that
is
again. A fat
Mick Jagger or a bald Rod Stewart? That's a brilliant question.
What did you go for? It's got to be a fat Mick
I
Jagger,
think went for
surely.
the fat Mick Jagger, yeah, because once the Barnett's gone, that's it. Gone, isn't it? You know.
Keep the hair.
Let me see. I'd rather play at Old Trafford full of City fans than wreck the gaff.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that.
Yeah.
And just last one before we move on to Liverpool chat. Jonathan Walters has said, "Is Balotelli finished?" There you go. That puts us beautifully onto Liverpool chat.
Bless him. He's a great lad, but he doesn't do himself any favours off the pitch. He's great. You know what I mean? Really, Liverpool fans when he first signed, from my mates, Liverpool fans were kind of buzzing. You know what I mean? And I was saying, "Oh, give it 6 weeks. You can't rely on him. You cannot hang your hat on him." You know what I mean? He's not a team player, and I think he'll end up in the Far East somewhere, won't he?
Are you surprised how much it hasn't worked for him at Liverpool? Because when he signed, we were obviously doing the show, and I was quite vocal in as much as I said I think it's an awful decision for Liverpool to sign him. I just don't think it'll work. And Jay was like, no, he could. On his day, he's up there with the best of them, and it so hasn't.
I instantly thought he, with the best will in the world, Mario, if you're listening, I know you're a big fan. In the team that he played for us were the champions, and he was a liability, and we carried him all the way to the title. And now, although he set up the goal for Aguero and all that, it was fun and games all the way. And that great team, I mean, Liverpool now are not a great team, do you know what I mean? And it's like...
Well, let's talk about Liverpool, okay? Benteke has recently come in, Nathaniel Klein, Firmino, Danny Ings, James Milner, Bogdan as well has come in. What do you make of the signings, firstly, that Brendan's...
I think... The Milner one. That's another thing about this Raheem Sterling thing and about players moving for money. James Milner's done the same. His 5-year contract at Liverpool was worth more than his 3-year contract he was offered at City. And he's saying, "Well, I move for game time." It's like you can't demand a Champions League club that you play every game. You can't have that written into your contract that at Liverpool you must start every game. So he's moved for the money. But the signings that they've made, I think, will keep them where they are. I don't think there's, unless this...
Where's where they are?
5th, isn't it?
Oh, okay, where they finished.
Yeah,
I thought you meant as a club.
I think unless this Firmino kid is a wizard, and I hope he is, because he'll be at City in 2 years. So, it's like, watch this space, isn't it? Danny Ings, I don't know. My Liverpool mates are very underwhelmed by him. But
well, let me ask you this: his first 7 away games, Brendan Rodgers, he's got all the top clubs. If he doesn't get the right results, if by October,
and
November,
Everton as well, which is a game that you do not want to lose if you're under pressure.
If by mid-October, November, Liverpool are outside the top 4, do you think he's under pressure, Brendan?
He's under pressure anyway. I can't believe that they've allowed him to buy 6 players in the last 2 summer windows. So he's spent £220 million, right? And 4 coming second, and they've allowed him to buy 6 more players. So he's reconstructed the team again. He's under pressure from the first game. But funnily enough, though, I don't see anybody who's going to take the job off him.
I think...
Who would? Let's just say
Klopp's the one.
Yeah.
Klopp's the one.
Klopp's going to Bayern Munich. He went all of a sudden he was not taking a year off.
Well, Klopp's the only one I can think of.
He's going to go Bayern Munich. I bet you any money.
But there will always be. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but there will always be a manager that comes in.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's no obvious candidate. All right, Klopp. Let's just say
Ancelotti.
Ancelotti would be great. Well, they get in there. Ancelotti's not going to wear that squad. He's going to say, "Well, I need another 100 million." 200 million even. So I'm amazed they've given him that money again. But
surely by allowing him to buy these players and to spend, nearly £250 million, they're demanding success. And if they don't get it, there is only one.
But you have to be. It's got to be realistic. I mean, look at the teams that are above them. Okay, are they going to finish above Chelsea? No. City? No. Man United? No. Arsenal? No. So once you've worked that out, then you've got to say to yourself, well, they've got to have one hell of a season
but it can
to
be
break
done.
in there.
Spurs proved it a few years ago by getting into the top 4.
But what I'm saying is, let's be realistic. Just by spending money doesn't necessarily mean you are going to get... they may have a season like they did 2 years ago. For me, they might turn out to be the new Suarez, in which case they may force their way in. But, unless you're a Liverpool fan, unless you're going to, outside looking in, I can't see them getting in there.
I can't. It's just they've bought too many players for that price bracket of 20 million
again.
When they should have bought, when Suarez left, they should have replaced him with at least a £40 million striker. You know what I mean? And
because Sanchez, they should have gone out and
brought the bank.
made it happen.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know Arsenal done the deal, but
even a Benzema. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, they should have. And
Is up front a problem for them because they've got 7 strikers at the moment on the books, which is just.
I think the Benteke signing is as odd as the Delph signing. I can't see where that fits in at all.
Well, they're buying a sort of another Andy Carroll, aren't they?
Well, yeah, this is. Yeah, I know. I mean, I just don't see, unless.
I don't know. I think Benteke, they're not. I mean, they're both target men. They're both, Benteke's more robust, stronger.
He won't play to
quicker.
Liverpool's strengths.
Well, it depends how they play. If they play a 4-3-3,
But all the players that he's brought in suggest that they're going to play.
Well, again, we don't know how they're going to. I'd love to hear from Liverpool fans.
But to get the best out of Benteke, they have to play to his strengths,
Exactly.
right? Which is getting it forward quick. Now, is that the way they play with Coutinho?
No,
and Flamini? No.
But if they play a 4-3-3, they may have an option. So I think that Sturridge. I think that they looked at Sturridge. They can't trust him. They've had to go and buy someone like Benteke. And if you think about it, who else is going to go? I mean, there's us talking about go and get Benzema. Is Benzema going to go to Liverpool? No. Is Sanchez going to go from Barca to Liverpool? No. And so they've got themselves. There's a ceiling where Liverpool can actually go and get, and Benteke is probably that ceiling.
Yeah, but I mean, we were talking about United. You're talking about City, Liverpool, another side that are desperate for defenders. That was one of their biggest problems last season.
If you think Skirtle is still their best defender,
Lovren may come good,
and he wouldn't get in any of the other top 4 sides. Skirtle,
no.
Well,
Lovren might come good if Lovren plays like he did 12 months ago, 18 months ago at Southampton.
Yeah, but
if he can put in those, because no one raised an eyebrow at that. That looked like that's a shrewd signing, and as it turned out, it wasn't. But if he can play and get back to the player that I thought he was, and he showed on many occasions that he was, then that might work out for them. But
they like Andy was saying, they've got one hell of a start, and they could be under the cost like immediately. Drawing away to Stoke, they'll probably put that on the honours board at Anfield as some kind of trophy, and then do you know what I mean? And then the wheels could come off pretty soon for that mob, couldn't they?
Yeah,
it's. I mean, Liverpool fans have phoned up. I think one Liverpool fan said, "Worst way they'll finish second." And Liverpool fans do. It's genuine. Liverpool fans do believe they are going to finish top 4 now. The majority of them are happy with the signings that have come in, and Brendan as well in charge. So,
over 38 games, they won't be the 4th best team in the league.
See, another thing,
and they've got European football as well.
One other thing is all these away games they've got, and they are tough. If they can somehow manage to cobble what we've seen this squad together, and Firmino turns out to be brilliant, and
it's a big if, Jay.
It is a big if, but if he can all of a sudden get through at the end of November, 21st of November is that last of that big run of 7 away games. If they can be within touching distance of the top 4, all of a sudden you think, okay, they've got those big guns out the way away from home. They might have a good second. I don't think that, but that's what they've got to think.
I think touching distance of top 4 won't be good enough. What would that be? 4 or 5 points off 4th?
Yeah, but if you've got those big heads out the way away from home, and you look at the games they've got, then that's tough. That's a really tough start away from home. If they can be in touching distance, even 3 or 4 points, maybe 5 points, that's not bad. If they then 10, 15 points, they are.
I just don't think even. They're in that initial first 12 games, it's going to be their home games which will take the pressure off. They win all their home games and nick a couple of draws and beat Everton, it'll be fine. I just think when the top 6 go to Anfield, you just don't see Liverpool beating. I mean, I know they've beaten us twice in a row, but you don't see them beating Chelsea. I don't see them beating United.
Was it a mistake letting Steven Gerrard go? Not necessarily as a player, but someone that you should keep at the club.
I don't know. He's clearly going to come back at one point, but he's another one who's gone for the money.
I was going to say, but what about loyalty?
What about loyalty?
Hold on. If he's not getting on with Brendan Rodgers, if there is a genuine problem between the two, why should he stay around?
Yeah, but let's have it right. Liverpool had a chance to offer him a contract. Liverpool wanted him out there. I don't care. They say we offered him a contract.
I agree.
If they wanted him to stay, they should have offered him a contract. As soon as that season ended, where they finished second, they should have sat down with him and Sterling and give him another year, another 2 years on what he's got. And they didn't. They knew what they were doing, Liverpool. And there's nothing wrong with it. No, but let's have it right. Because they didn't want him. Brendan
I know, but
and they made the decision. So it's so impossible that Steve had to say, I'm sorry, I'm going.
Yeah, but that is my point. My question is, should they not have thought, hold on, he's the last of the old brigade at Liverpool. We should do our best and bend over backwards to keep someone like that at the club.
There will be times next season when everyone's looking around thinking, God, we could do with Steve Gerrard. You wait, there will be games, there will be moments.
Yeah. It's like Remember a few years ago, Giggs was in the same position at United, and now look at him. You know, as the assistant manager. That should have been the path for Steven Gerrard. You know, and you're right. Somebody's wanted him out. Somebody's wanted, you know, the ghost of his European night out the door.
Did you not want him on loan?
We don't have anyone.
He done all right, Frank.
He was great.
Yeah.
He was great. It's no coincidence that when he started the last 7 games in a row, we won them all. Seriously though, you know, I think that's what's going to cost Pellegrini in the end. You know, his stubbornness to keep playing 4-4-2, and then when it came down to when the league had gone and he changed to 4-4-3 and he played Lampard, he gets a couple of goals and we win 7 games in a row and we end up finishing really strong. And it's kind of, you're sitting there thinking, you're supposed to be the manager, do you know what I mean? You don't see this, you know. But
have you met Pellegrini? You get on with him?
I've met him a couple of times. He's very, very, very laid back. He's kind of like
very quiet.
Very, very quiet.
No.
Yeah. No. I met his son. Is up there quite a lot, but he's
Who's the guy that sits next to him on the bench? It looks like his dad.
Ruben.
What does he do?
Looks like
He does look like his dad, or the guy from Space 1999.
I think Ruben just fences stolen equipment. I don't know, he just looks like a gangster, doesn't he? He's always carrying his rosary beads. He looks like an assassin, doesn't he? He's
What
great,
does he do? What's his role?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Maybe it's just his mate.
Maybe he's just his mate. I think because Brian Kidd's the coach. Pellegrini's the manager. What does he do? I don't know. Probably just gets his cigs for him, doesn't he? Smoking partner.
More from Noel Gallagher in just a moment, right here on Talksport. That is, of course, Everybody's on the Run from the first album of Noel Gallagher's solo career. I think the album was just called Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. Is that right?
I think it was called Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds.
Why don't you have an album name for it?
I'm not good at them lately. Clearly. Yeah. I don't know.
What year did that come? I've got it in front of me. What year did that come out?
2011.
It was.
Yay!
Why did you say?
Why did you hesitate?
Yeah. Why did you say that?
Because I thought it was 2010.
That's the reason you hesitated. Then, obviously. Let's talk about Arsenal.
Yeah.
A great signing. I think we all agree with Petr Cech.
Well, I've heard this. He's going to give him 15 points a season. He may have saved Chelsea 12 points a season playing behind that back four. He ain't going to save him 12 behind Arsenal's back four. No, I think he's great.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, he had pretty much a brick wall in front of him for the 8 years he was at Chelsea, whatever it was. He had the best drilled defence in the league, bar none. He was still there. And you look at David Seaman when he left Arsenal, all of a sudden he became a very ordinary goalkeeper. You know what I mean? Whereas behind that back four, he was unbeatable. And I think Cech is a great signing, but I think the back four will expose him too much. I think he'll find himself, coming out to the edge of his area one-on-ones regularly, because that's how you beat Arsenal, is on the break, isn't it?
If they stay fit, the whole squad, which is something that hasn't happened as far as I can remember for the last decade. There's always a player, 2, sometimes even 5 or 6. How close do you think they can get? Because I fear them at the moment. I think they are better placed than City and United to challenge Chelsea. I still think they need a striker and a holding midfielder.
I think that Arsenal will do what Arsenal does all the time: is they start off great, and it's great, and then it goes rubbish. And then once the league has gone and Wenger comes out and says, well, we're not going to win the league, they're brilliant again.
The pressure's off.
You said about 3 or 4 years ago on our show they live at third.
Yeah, I think United might pick them this season. But anyone who's hanging their hat on Giroud as the man up front is sadly lacking in that department, isn't there?
Yeah, he does. He can look a top-class striker, but he doesn't do it consistently enough.
He's as good as like Dzeko, for instance.
Listen, United have got Rooney. You got Aguero. We've had Didier and Costa.
Yeah.
You need that. That marquee signing. That's someone up front. You think we've got him today.
Why do you think that Arsene Wenger is? I don't know if scared's the right word to use, but why won't he buy the players that every football fan and Arsenal fan think they should? Why doesn't he? I mean, we were led to believe last week they've got 200 million in the bank. I don't know if that's all the money he can spend, but why doesn't he go out and buy that big centre forward?
If you speak to Arsenal fans, they'll tell you that he's just stubborn.
And but that can't be. I mean,
what Arsenal fans hear on the radio and the papers is there's money there to spend. This guy's come out and said he's got 200 million. The next press conference is Wenger saying, well, he's been a bit over the top there. So it's kind of, they never seem
But
to
why would he be stubborn? What's the benefit of him being stubborn and not winning the Premier League? I don't get that. Why would he do that?
I don't know.
Does he feel comfortable actually spending it? And I know he's done it with Ozil. I know he's done it with but you know he
got burnt badly with Reyes, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
And if you think he had a reputation before that, he'd discovered Vieira and Petit and Pires and Fabregas, and he was like this wizard that would go and come back with these gems. And then he got burnt by Reyes and the kid from Everton, Franny Jeffers. Paid a lot of money for him, and then I don't know. Maybe he's a bit gun shy in that. I mean, you know, you can't really say.
But Benzema, you know, you think what he's done with Ozil. I don't think he needed Ozil personally. I don't think Arsenal would be any further down the road or any further back than they are now if they didn't sign Ozil.
I
thought that, you know, Sanchez, yes, that boy has made a difference.
Yeah, this goal in the FA Cup final was unbelievable. Yeah. But Ozil, you can go. I mean, I've been to see City Arsenal since he's been there, and halfway through the game, gone, oh, he is playing. He is playing. That's unbelievable.
Okay, how many players do you think Arsenal are short of putting in a genuine challenge for the Premier League?
A centre half to partner the French lad. They should have bought James Milner. They need that kind of player, and a centre forward.
Yeah, I've been saying that for the last how many years have I said that? If they do this, and the goalkeeper one was always one you think, if they do that, then that's the first piece of the jigsaw.
But that's a lot of players to be short of a Premier League.
No, but they've got the players like the Ramsey. They've got the pace in Oxlade-Chamberlain and Walcott. You know, they've got the two fullbacks which are excellent. You know, they've got around the side. They've got what it takes.
But don't you feel though that the whole tone that comes out of that club is from the top to the bottom is 14 years Champions League in a row, no one's ever done that. There's never any from the top down saying, well, this year we have to win the league or somebody's going to lose the job. There's all this, they're in a comfort zone where there's a healthy percentage of their fans who are pulling their hair out, you know. But, you know, they get 60,000 every week. No one's calling for Wenger. Or they do at some point in the season and then they win 4 games in a row and it's fine again.
Have the 2 FA Cups papered over the cracks then, do you think, slightly?
I think the first one did. I think the second one, I don't really think it means that much. I mean, if let's just say they win the FA Cup again next year, I'd be like, well, you know.
But you don't think Arsene Wenger's is part of the problem as much as anything else because the way that they play games, and I know they beat you lot last year and you lot away from home, but other than that, they don't beat Chelsea. They don't normally beat City. They don't normally beat.
Yeah, but okay. Let me ask you this.
So their record against the top 4 or 5 other clubs is horrific.
Okay. But you were going on before about Liverpool, and they've spent all this money, and they've got to finish above Chelsea. They've got to finish above Man United and Arsenal. But realistically, can Arsenal finish above?
I don't think you'll ever see Wenger pick up the Premier League again, personally. But I don't think they're far away. That's how it is. It's a weird scenario.
Well, they always get to January, there or thereabouts, and then all of a sudden whatever frailties they have become exposed over the Christmas thing, and then they fall away, and then Wenger comes out and he gives it up, and then they buck up again, you know.
There was a time when your club were linked to Jack Wilshere.
Yeah, I wouldn't fancy that.
Why is that?
I just think he's always falling over. I don't like his tattoos anyway.
But I mean, Jay rates him as highly as he did Gazzy. Thinks he could be if he stays free from injury.
I tell you, the boy can. I think he could be the best attacking midfielder we've got currently now. I think he can be the difference between England getting knocked out on penalties and England actually.
Shall I tell you what sets him apart and what links him to Gaza? Is you think of the great midfielders in the game now, like Silva and the Barcelona players and all that. They're athletes. They don't smoke and drink. Okay, this lad's been, caught twice. And it's the only 2 times I've ever done it. Of course it is, yeah. And that catches up with you in the end. You know what I mean? It catches up with you. If you're smoking and drinking, you're not an athlete, And you see the great players in the league, they dedicate themselves to it to be the best, And smoking and drinking ain't going to cut it.
Well, he does pick up a lot of injuries, and maybe his life. People do question his lifestyle.
A lot of people do at Arsenal, Jay. A lot of people do.
They do, but people do question his. I think he comes in from some fair clog at times, personally. And if he is smoking and drinking every single weekend, then you're right. But if this is the one odd occasion, then I do feel as though that he is one of those that the press take a kick. They'd love to go in for Jack Wilshere. He's on the front page having a cigarette in the summer in a jacuzzi. I mean, come on. If you can't do it, then when can he do it? Huh?
Half time.
Come on.
Well, from Noel Gallagher in just a moment right here on Talksport. Welcome back to the last hour of Andy Goldstein's Sports Bar with me, him over there, Hopalong Cundy, and more importantly, Noel Gallagher has been with us for the last hour and is with us for the last hour. You can hear all of this chat if you've missed any of it. You can go to the website, talksport.com, or, of course, at the end of each week, we do a best of Andy Goldstein's Sports Bar podcast, free to download from iTunes. Just quickly, Noel, before we move on, the music that we use for our theme tune.
Yeah.
We won't name its real title because, of course, there is a swear word. It'll be Blank in the Bushes.
Loving in the Bushes.
Yeah, when did you compose? That's yours, isn't it?
Yeah.
When did you compose that? When was that done?
In 1998, maybe.
Is that a rare thing for you guys to do, or for you to do, with compose a song and it being instrumental? Was there a reason why you did it? Could you not be bothered to write words?
That was pretty much it. Yeah.
Did you write the words to that and then thought, no, they don't sound good?
I can't remember now, but I don't know why it ended up as an instrumental. I probably just never got round to it, and then just liked it as an instrumental, I suppose. I don't know, I can't remember.
Do you like the royalties you get every?
Do we get? We don't pay you for that, do we?
You kind of in a round. Yeah, not for every play. Your radio, whoever owns this radio thing will pay I think what happens is, say this radio station is owned by globalradio.com, they'll pay a fee to some
UTV
record.
own us.
Yeah. UTV will pay, so they don't have to get everything cleared. They'll pay.
Okay.
Whatever it
That might you might not hear it anymore if they listen to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I've got other
think,
tunes. I've got other tunes you can use.
Are we paying for the Octagon? Is that what's happening?
You may have had some small part to play in it. Yeah.
I so want to do. Can we do a show? But if you ever sell that house before it goes, can we do a show in the Octagon?
I won't ever sell it.
Oh, okay.
No, it's too nice.
No, fine. We've got some back pages. So what we're going to do, usually we get a journal on, but we thought, no, we just get your view on them. Is that okay? These are tomorrow's back pages. We'll start with the Daily Mirror. Fat's your lot, Rafa.
I've seen this.
New Jose taunts Mr. and Mrs. Benitez. What do you make of that?
I think that Mrs. Benitez has obviously been a little misguided. It's just like, don't go there with him. You know what I mean? He's just...
You've poked a stick in Jose's arm there.
He's just like, you send one of his to the hospital, he'll send 3 of yours to the morgue. He's like a proper gangster style, isn't it? But, yeah, he's a bit mean, isn't he?
Did you heard the quotes, didn't you?
She said, he's always cleaning up your mess.
Yeah.
And he said, you won't be worried about his diet.
Yeah, maybe you should be more concerned of your husband's diet plan. Then you'll have less time to talk about me. It's a great comeback, I'll be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, the season's not even started yet.
I think Jose likes it. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, and I know he rattles a few cages, but I think he loves to go into battle knowing he's got a fight ahead of him.
Yeah,
I think he gets everyone up for it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't stand him, to be honest, but I wish he was our manager, you know. I wish he was our manager.
But the style of football you play would be quite dull, wouldn't it?
Well, no, I know, but I mean, he's their 12th man, isn't he? You know, he's playing the Saturday's game. He's doing the kickoff on the Thursday. You know what I mean? He's playing his part, and he's maybe he's the only manager in the league who he has an absolute effect on the big games. Do you know what I mean?
What he does it really well. He takes the attention off his players.
Yeah,
I think so. We're always talking about what he said, and we're not really too bothered about his players.
I mean, and the press are obsessed with him in this country. You know what I mean? He doesn't.
Would you rather have him or Pep?
I'd rather have Guardiola, because of the just the unknown. I hope he comes to this country just to see how he'd fare, you know, because quite frankly, I reckon I could have managed Bayern Munich to the treble. You know what I mean? They're in a one-team league, so he's not really tested himself yet. It'd be fascinating when he comes here.
Do you think he will come here?
I think he'll either go to City or United.
So I think he's nailed on to get United. I think he's nailed on, and I just think that's going to happen.
I think it's a big risk because at Barca, you know, with those sort of players, you'd be a bit of a bad manager not to win the lot. And
still
as you said,
do it though.
Yeah,
still
I
got to
know.
do it.
if you've got Messi, Xavi, Iniesta in their prime, and you've got other players around them that are pretty handy as well, you've got to be a pretty bad manager to not win.
Yeah, but I mean, he was schooled at Barcelona anyway. He was brought up in the academy and all that. So that's, I mean, you know, his man management skills have got to be pretty good to keep all those all those players happy.
But building aside, he's not done yet, and that will be interesting.
And he's not been in a league that's as cutthroat as the Premier League. You know, if you're, I mean, Bayern Munich, come on, you know, they win the league, you know, 9 times out of 10. If he comes here, say he rocks up at City, you know, he's got to be better than Chelsea and Man United over 38 games. That's going to be fascinating to see him do that. You know?
Back page of the Sun go with the headline: United ditch Ron plot. So this is a headline. Tell us they're now not going for Ronaldo after Man United said that. After Real Madrid said they're not selling him. So I don't really... What's this headline telling us? That the last headline was nonsense.
But were they ever, you know, ever interested? We spoke to Terry Gibson that night when the story broke, and he wasn't having it.
There's no way. Ronaldo's going to America after Madrid.
And also to get him out of there, you know, plus he's got £100 million euros buyout, plus his wages, plus his I mean, you're talking 100 million. He's done
it at United. Why would he go back? Surely the end of his career will be either finishing in Portugal somewhere or finishing in the States.
He might come.
He might come back for a year or two at the end, right at the very end. He loves Manchester, no? He loves it.
He might go back to City.
Why did he leave then?
Because he loves Madrid more. You've been out there, you know what it's like.
It's all right.
Are you watching the cricket, by the way?
I've watched a bit of it today. Yeah.
What do you make of the Ashes?
I do. I'm not a cricket fan, but I do watch the Ashes when it's on because the Aussies are so childish. And have you been to Australia?
No, I haven't.
Fascinating place.
I'm scared of all the creepy crawlies. I wouldn't go there.
Yeah.
I don't think I could handle the flight either.
The flight is quite long, but it's. I do like the Ashes, but it was.
When you say fascinating place, what do you mean?
It's full of Australians.
Yeah,
who are
got you out, John.
fascinating people.
Yeah, go on.
I find. Well, they're just fascinating. It's like going back in time when you go out there. It's mental. It's mad. I watched once when I was hungover a local Aussie news broadcast once. I thought it was Monty Python. I genuinely thought it was Monty Python. They went live to a Wellington throwing contest. I'm like, I'm live.
You sure you weren't listening to H&J?
No, I was. Oh no, I fall asleep and listen to those two. It's like having a sleeping tablet in the afternoon, isn't it?
Have you been to the cricket, by the way? Have you ever gone?
I did. I went to Lords about 4 years ago.
It must be perfect for you. You just go, have a few drinks.
I tell you why it's perfect, because I live about 2 minutes walk from there.
Yeah.
But no, my manager is his brother was something to do with Glamorgan, and he said, and it was the day that England beat Australia for the first time in 75 years, and Flintoff got those 3 wickets. And
05.
Yeah, basically what you do is you just sit there and get hammered all day, and then something happens and you clap, try and avoid Piers Morgan and Jeremy Clarkson, and then
it's great, isn't it? Have you ever played?
Not really, no.
What's your best sport? If you were going to play something for your life, what would it be?
For my life?
Yeah, I don't see you as a footballer.
Ooh, Connect 4. You don't see me as a footballer?
No, look, I don't see football.
I was before I started smoking. I was a keen footballer. I was good in net.
In net?
That's such a northern expression, that, isn't it?
Do you mean a goalkeeper?
In the net, I was goalie in net.
How can you? I mean, you're not the tallest man in the world.
We need to Shay Given.
He is. He's about 6 foot.
Well, I'm 5'6". If I had to play a sport for my life depended on
Do you know what I see you at? I see you as a good badminton player.
You're the fat.
No, I did. That's not an insult.
You're slagging off my shuttlecocks.
Am I whatting off yours?
You're talking a lot of shuttlecocks now, mate.
I don't see you as a good badminton player.
No. I would...
Darts?
No. No. I'm going to stick with Connect 4.
I just said him, jockey.
Yeah. No, I did. I actually got on a horse once. It was the most horrifying experience of my entire life.
Why did you do that?
Too
dangerous.
On holiday somewhere. Let's go for a horse ride. Yeah, okay. And then it was just horrific. My horse was called Nightmare, and it ran off along a beach. I know these are first world problems for everybody, but, you know, it was horrific.
Listen, we're going to talk bottom of the Premier League and the new clubs in just a moment. But before we do, we didn't get your predictions for top 4, but we'll do top 6 because, of course, you've got Spurs in the mix and Liverpool.
I love the way that managers at the beginning of the season always claim that there's going to be 6 teams fighting for the league. No, there isn't. There's going to be 2. You know, it's like, well, there's 6 teams can win it. You know, it's between Tottenham and Liverpool for 5th and 6th.
You don't see Southampton moving into that?
No. I think...
Everton?
No. I think it's between Arsenal and United for 3rd and 4th, and City and Chelsea for 1st.
So I think this year's
second.
tougher to call. I think this is. I think it's tougher this
I don't
year.
think anybody's going to win it by the same amount of points.
No,
I think we're going to
agree.
go to the penultimate week. It's going to be exciting, I think, because for City to win it, City have to be 10% better. They have to be 10% better, and Chelsea have to either stay as they are, and we have to see a deterioration in John Terry, because they were the main reasons why they. And they've always got Mourinho's always the key in it, because he's the best manager in the league. But we could, you know, if we land De Bruyne and, you know, we're starting to look, we still need centre half stuff for me. I think.
Okay,
Do you think of a striker? I mean, Jovetic is gone. Dzeko's going. You've got Aguero. You've got Bone. Do you need another one?
You'd have thought that the mantra was always you need 4 top strikers. In it, you know.
Well, minimum 3. I mean, who else is there? Have I missed someone? I mean, De Bruyne, he's not. He can play up there. I mean, he wouldn't want to.
No, he's not a striker. No, we might have somebody in the academy. I don't know. No, I don't think we've got anybody else. No. I mean, I'm surprised they're letting Dzeko go.
They definitely let him go.
Well, I'm only by what you read in the papers.
Yeah.
They're saying that they're willing to let him go. That's amazing, because he scored some proper important.
Yeah, he's a good
goals.
player. I'm amazed as well.
I was amazed Arsenal haven't gone in for him, or Liverpool, really.
Liverpool, can they buy another striker legally?
I mean,
They'll have 24
Yeah.
and a goalkeeper. Come on, then, top 6 in order. 6. We know you hate Spurs.
My
It's
my
easy.
heart says that City will be champions. My head says Chelsea will be
Are
champions.
you going the wrong way? 6 to 1.
6th.
6.
Liverpool 6th, Tottenham 5th, Arsenal 4th, United 3rd. Can't split City.
You're
and
gonna have
Chelsea. Okay, well, I'll go for
With your head.
Chelsea
Where?
first.
And City second. Okay. No. More from Noel Gallagher in just a moment. Don't forget that after this show from 1 a.m, it's the 2 Mikes, Mike Graham and Mike Porky Parry. Will be taking over from us. Noel Gallagher is alongside myself and the Fun Boy. Do you ever listen to your old music?
I not really. No, would not sit down and put it on while I'm smoking a cigar in the back garden and twiddle me fez.
What? Twiddle you what?
Oh, that's a marvellous tune, isn't it?
What would you listen to if you were twiddling your fez and smoking your cigar?
Depends. What was I listening to today? I was listening to a Swedish band today called Soundtrack of Our Lives.
Can you hear that? Oh no, I think he's. Did he hear that? He's not got his headphones on. Do you hear that?
No, what did he say?
Just play it. Play it again. You hear that? You hear it?
Yeah, what is it?
You know what it is. It's a bit of Wham.
can't beat Wham.
You got it?
Yeah, you can beat
Do you want to sing along, Noel?
No, you can't beat him, though.
Cundy's the biggest George
Oh,
Michael
I
fan
love
in the
George.
world. Genuinely.
Yeah,
We used to
he's
do-
all right, George.
Yeah, I like George.
Do you know him? Have you met him?
We have a mutual friend. I've been to his house, actually. Been to a party. He had an Olympics party at his house. That was a wonderful night.
Come on. What do you mean Olympics party? Like you had to go as a javeliner?
No, when he sang at the Olympics.
Oh, I thought you meant like you had to go as like a...
He has a mutual friend of mine, and they said, "Oh, he's having this party. Do you fancy it?" And my missus was like, "We are going to George Michael's house, whether you like it or not." And it was our Liam ended up there. Bizarrely enough.
Yeah, but he was performing at the Olympics opening ceremony, wasn't he? Or closing ceremony?
That was he come along after, but it was a funny old night.
Hmm.
Funny old night.
Let's get the questions out the way. All right. Do you speak to Liam? Have you spoken to him recently?
No, I've seen him a few times. He's kind of still a bit lippy.
And I have to ask you this question: are Oasis getting back together?
Yes.
Okay, now this is a world exclusive. This is quite incredible. Tell me more.
Well, we're getting back together. We're not going to do anything.
So many people.
We are gonna get together and go. All right. Yeah, I'm all right. What have you been up to? Nothing. What are you up to? I'm really busy with my solo gear. What are you up to? Nothing.
That's it.
And then
What are you
you're
doing
going to
at
go
the
your way,
weekend?
yeah?
Going away on tour. What are you doing? See you later. Yeah, man. Nice one.
And that's it. That's as
it.
close as...
Yeah, if anybody wants to give me £500,000 for that.
Would you get back for... Is it money? Would you, if someone offered £10 million, £100 million?
For one gig?
If someone offered you £10 million for one
Touring.
gig...
Yeah, I'll do it.
Touring.
Hold on.
I'll do it for
You'd
10
reform Oasis
for me,
for 10
if
million.
I get £10 million,
Yeah, they put 10
if
million
I
for-
get for
Yes,
me,
yes.
Right, I'll do that. So what's that after tax? £5 million. I can do that for one night. That's all right. That work.
You'd reform Oasis for 10 million.
For one night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, then.
For me, I'm getting 10
You
million.
get the money.
Everyone else has got to renegotiate their own thing. If I'm getting 10 million,
and whoever,
I'll do it.
And whoever keeps the profits.
Are they supporting us? Is that a new band, The Prophets? Who are they?
That's me and Jay.
Oh.
That's what we do. You honestly do it for 10 million.
I'll do it for 10 million.
Game on. Someone out there, come on.
I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Do you know
10
we've
minutes.
never had one serious offer for all the talk in the press? No one's ever picked up the phone to me and said, "Oh, by the way, there's, the Sultan of Brunei. He's a huge fan." I'm like, really? Yeah. Well, he's offering. We've never had that, so I'm busy anyway. But if somebody's any promoters listening wants to put £10 million on the table for one show,
Just for you. Wembley Stadium.
I'm there. I'm wherever. Not man. Craven Cottage. Not bothered. Plough Lane. Doesn't make no difference to me. I'm getting paid 10 mil.
Wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if they went 10 million and then you found it was like Wembley Arena?
That'd be great. Be amazing. It'd be brilliant. I'd play anywhere.
Is there a part of you that misses that side of things, the Oasis days?
I tell you what I do miss is just being a guitarist, because me and Gem, who you know well, with us being the two guitarists, we used to have a proper laugh on tour. We'd regularly be not going to bed till 4 or 5 o'clock, and because neither of us sang, we'd be up till all hours singing in the dressing room. But now, you got to be on the ball from 10 to 9, and it's kind of party wings are clipped. So I miss that side of it, but the rest of it, no.
Okay. And we shall move on now, all right? We're going to talk football again. £10 million. Has anyone tweeted you or texted you saying they've got the 9.5?
Sultan Brunei. He's just got.
He's a big fan.
Got an email from Liam here. No. Let's talk about the new clubs coming into the Premier League.
Yeah.
Bournemouth
is
Norwich.
it's a gift. It's a gift from the footballing gods, because every football fan is going to be looking at it going, "We've got a weekend away in Bournemouth." Everyone.
You're
The
right.
nightclubs are
That's the first thing I look for. It was like, and ours is a Sunday. It's the 4 o'clock game. It's like, brilliant. So Friday afternoon. Brilliant.
Although not that many people will, because of course it only holds 12,000.
Yeah, but the Bournemouth, the town, is going to make some serious readies. I mean, there's going to be. Everybody's going to go.
It's a lovely part of the world.
Yeah, all the Liverpool fans are going to get to see their uncles who've been on the run for 6 years. They're all there somewhere. All the Geordies are going to go and spend 2 weeks there, because it's like, it's like a seaside resort for them. It's going to be great, but it'll be Bournemouth. That's going to be one of the stories of the season.
They won't go down, Bournemouth.
You don't think?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
No,
I don't want them to, but it's a hell of a statement, Joe.
They won't go down.
What makes you say that, though?
The game, I saw enough of them last year in the Championship, and the way they play their football, they're not going to change their. And I know it's tough, I get that, but I saw them play Aston Villa at Villa Park in the FA Cup off the park.
Really?
Off the park. And I know that Villa were going through a bit of a period where it wasn't great and Lambert was still manager, but I will say now, confidently predict that Bournemouth will not.
The manager's got something about him, and I watched the game that they had to win to go up, and they were brilliant. They showed no nerves at all. They were great, but they've only got to be fourth worst, haven't they? You know what I mean? And
I think it's a big ask as well. I really do. I mean, I'd love them to stay up for all the reasons we're talking about.
I think they'll stick to the way they play and they move the ball. They're a good side. They're a better side than
Jay's totally different.
I understand that. I understand, but they're not lump it up to the big man and get bodies around it. They will keep the ball. Technically, they are better than some of the sides we saw last year.
I've never been to their ground. I don't know what it's like. But because every football supporter is going to want to, every other away supporters, they're going to be big games for them. Like, there's going to be jumping every day at that, of every game at that stadium. So if they rise to that occasion, they could do it.
Do they have to bring in? They brought in Sylvain Distin for I don't really quite understand why they've done that. Because, well, I just think if you want to bring in a defender who can cut it at the top level, then you bring in someone that's still got it in his game. I get the reason they brought him in for a bit of experience, but If you're going to play someone like that, he wouldn't get into the majority of other sides in the Premier League. So
that's true.
I don't understand why they're.
Me neither. I hope they don't go. I hope they don't do that thing where they, they buy like 6 or 7 experienced players.
I don't want Berbatov turning up.
No, that's not. Listen, the reason I think that he will do all right there is he's still quick enough. I know I see his legs go. I've got to contradict myself. I did see his legs go a couple of times, but he's a fit boy. I mean, you see him. He's still got that pace and the experience he's got. I think that's something that they're going to draw on.
Okay.
So I don't think it's the worst side, but I don't want to see. Centre half, 2 midfielders. Berber, as you mentioned, Berber. I think that will ruin them.
Haven't they paid $8 million for a right back or something?
They have. They bought for it from Ipswich. Tara Mears.
It's like a load of money for a right back. Yeah. It's all a bit odd thing, but
the other two, Watford, Norwich. You think they're going to struggle?
I mean, you'd have to say they're going to be in the bottom 8 from the first day to the last. It's just to the configuration.
Do you think with these clubs, Bournemouth, Watford, and Norwich, you said for Bournemouth they've got to make sure they're 4th worst. Do you think it's just survival? That's all it is for these clubs.
Yeah, it's like they call it consolidating, don't they? It's like look at Swansea and Southampton now. We don't even talk about them as if in any danger of going down, and that's what they did. They come in and they survived and they got the money in. I mean, if Bournemouth survived this year and they get the money that's coming in next year, they could.
That's the one.
They could take.
Do they need to build a bigger stadium though?
I wouldn't have thought that'd be a priority.
Do you not?
I wouldn't have thought so.
12,000.
But if they are in the Premier League this time next year, then they will have the funds to expand. There's no point.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Won't
be good with though. Champions League football, wouldn't it? Real Madrid going there in front of 12,000. That'd be interesting.
It'd be brilliant.
Come on.
It's probably just same as like going to Etihad, isn't it?
Bottom 3. Who's going down this season?
I'm going to say Leicester are going to be very close to going down. I'd say
under your old manager, isn't it? Oh no, under Chelsea's old manager. Yeah.
I would say that Villa are going to struggle, and who else? I think Stoke are looking like they're going to be safe. You know what I mean?
You haven't named any of the 3 that have come up.
Well, I mean, it goes without saying they're going to be there or thereabouts, and I think there's going to be those 3, and then there'll be Villa, Palace, yeah, and it was the other one I just mentioned.
Leicester.
Yeah, I think Leicester. Yeah. I don't think Ranieri's cut out for that.
That's a strange one, isn't it?
An odd one, isn't it?
That is an odd one
because he's going to. I mean,
that is very
because they're going to be in a relegation battle. Let's have it right, and he's not the kind of, he's not a Sam Allardyce kind of figure, is he? You know what I mean? West Ham could struggle.
Cool, dear. That would be
under Slaven Bilic. Do they have to be playing Premier League football the following season when they move into their Olympic?
West Ham, I'll tell you what's going to happen is because of the Europa League thing, they're going to start like an house on fire. After 6 games, they'll be right up there, and then they'll come to that bit over Christmas where they'll just run out of gas, and then they'll go into a slide.
Okay, we're going to be talking
Sunderland.
Yeah. We're going to be talking England in just a moment with Noel Gallagher, and then we'll get his top 10. Still loads more to come right here on the Sports Bar. Noel Gallagher's in the studio. We're going for half an hour. We're talking England in just a moment, and then we're going to do his top 10 as well. A couple of questions for you that have come in via the hashtag #AskNoel. How did you celebrate City winning the league back in 2012? You were in a bar somewhere.
I was in
obscure, weren't you?
I was in Santiago in Chile. I was doing a gig that night, but I remember it because just 5 minutes or 10 minutes before I was due on stage, there was a knock on the door. It was my tour manager, and she said, "The British ambassador is here to see you." And I was like, "What does he want?" And she said, "I don't know." So in he comes, and he came to congratulate me on behalf of about City winning. I must say, what a marvellous thing. I'm glad to say on behalf of all the staff of the embassy, congratulations. And I was thinking, is he congratulating me on behalf for Man City on behalf of the British Embassy? I was going, well, thanks very much. It's been a great day. It's been a long journey, and we finally arrived back to the summit of British football where we truly belong. Now, if you don't mind, I have a gig to do. So,
Do you collect Man City memorabilia? Because of course Vincent Kompany gave you his captain's armband.
I've got Vinny's armband from the last time we won the league.
Wait, hold on. Where is it? Do you get it framed? Do you just stick it in a box?
It's around a bottle of champagne in study where I write my songs, and I've got Carlos Tevez's shirt from the cup final against Stoke.
How did that come about? He just gave it to you, or?
I'm going to tell you off air. It's a brilliant story. I can't tell you.
Now,
Oh,
can you
no.
not tell us on air?
Come on.
Come on.
You can.
That's what people are listening for, this story.
Okay. He left it at City's ground for another celebrity, and someone that I know went, he ain't having that. My mate's having that. And pilfered it and said to me in hushed tones, don't say out, all right? Right, he's left that shirt for what's his name.
That's amazing.
And I've gone, he's not even a City fan. He's like, I know. So he's not getting it. So what I've done is, there you go, say no more. And I was like, thank you very much.
Who's the celeb?
Yeah, who's the celeb?
I'm going to tell you off air.
Okay, right.
No. Come on.
Can you tell us on air?
No.
If he's not a City fan, he don't care.
It's all gone now. No,
Okay, let me
there's
ask you.
nothing that he can do about it.
No,
There's
because the guy's still in gainful employment.
Possession is 9/10 of the law. You know that. Only too well.
Nothing can happen about it.
Come on.
Move on.
I mean,
Move on.
Has he
Move
got?
on.
Has he got? Hey,
I'd like to be the Claude Makaleli, not doing a great deal, just getting it and giving it, pointing and shouting.
okay. Callum Hood, great name. If you could have any player in the Premier League at the moment at Man City, which one would it be?
question.
If we could buy any player
Yeah.
who's already in the Premier League, or
Yeah.
any player in the world.
No, in the Premier League. If you could have any player in the Premier League at Man City, who would it be?
John Stones.
Oh, that's an interesting answer.
Yeah.
Why don't you go out and get him then? You'll get him for 35.
I don't know why. I don't know why. But it's the same with the Sterling thing. Why were only City involved in that? There was no auction going on, and why only Chelsea? I don't know. Maybe some of these deals have been done behind closed doors, haven't they?
You rate him that highly,
I would. Well, we're after a great young centre half. He's going to be great. I think if Chelsea get him, that's another. And that would edge the title closer to them. I think. What do you think?
Yes, it's difficult. I mean, depends what you mentioned earlier. If John Terry has another one of those seasons, which I don't think he will, but if he even gets anywhere near the season he had last year, he will be there. He will be playing every week. But if he does dip, and Cahill, don't forget, had a dip last year as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how many games he's going to play. Yes, it would be another great addition. I'm not sure it's a title clinching for the future. Yes, next season. I think Chelsea could do another striker up front personally. But
Yeah, because Costa's injured now, isn't he?
yeah,
A smile on Noel's face.
Yeah.
Barry Jones says, should they bring back the terraces in football?
I think you should definitely have a area, like one corner of the ground, for standing up.
Safe standing.
it's called the away section.
Yeah. For safe standing. Yeah. I think football supporters are and the authorities are wise enough now not to let it get out of hand, and I think it would be a good thing. I think it would be a good thing for the atmosphere of many football grounds. I don't think it'll ever happen though. We can't see it.
Roy Hodgson, let's talk about him. Or Hodgesaurus, as I call him. Do you like him? Is he the right man for the job?
He's the only man for the job.
That's not what I asked. Is he the right man for the job? He wants a new contract. Do we give him one now or wait?
I don't think he'll get one.
Come on, honestly. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking the England thing. There's another crossroads coming when he finally they don't renew his contract, because who's next in line for the job? And I think there's going to be this foreign manager thing and all that kind of thing will rear its head again. But I think England are as far away cast into the wilderness as they've ever been. I don't see anything moving forward with England.
Why is that? Because of the current setup there? Where are the problems then?
I just don't think that 11 English lads will ever be better than 11 German lads. It's been proven. There's just something happens when the Germans get together, or the Italians, for instance, you know what I mean? And the opposite happens when English lads get together. They go from these young lads who are surrounded by world superstars and make them look twice the players than they probably are. And then the media don't do England any favours in this country. There's so much weight put on every single tournament. It's like, you know, England win one game, we're going to win it. They draw the next game, they should all be hung. You know, it's kind of... It's I'm glad I'm not really a fan of England, if I'm being honest. It's
okay, let me ask you this: do we have the players to perform better than we are at the moment, or is where we are about right?
I'd say where England are about right. Look at the under-21s, for instance, just recently. You know, for what I don't watch the under-21s. You probably watch more than I do, but you read the newspapers and you're led to believe that actually, yeah, you know, these lads might do it, and you watch it and it's just like it's awful. You know, and it's the same with the senior team. You know, there's just... England always seem to be relying on one player. Oh, if Rooney gets injured, that's it. Or if Rooney plays well, that's it. Harry Kane, he's now the saviour. You know what I mean? And seems never to be... the team always seems lopsided to me. There's always too many players in one position, not enough in another position. Or there's either 4 goalkeepers or none. You know, it's always just...
So I'm quite optimistic about the future, and I'm as critical of England as anyone has been. But
you're mental, though.
But I'm going to run some names at you. Hart, he's going to be in the sticks or Nets.
Yeah.
And if you go through what we've got: Sterling, Barkley, I can't remember I'm writing. Shaw, Stones, you mentioned, Kane, Klein, Wilshere, Walcott, Rooney. There are some names there that if these guys progress and continue the way that they could and develop. That's the nucleus of not a bad little squad.
Of course,
you know.
my point is when you look at it like that, it is not bad. And you think, well, all these players, Wilshere's playing, Rooney and blah, and Sterling and all that. It's all right until they walk onto the pitch against the top 6 team.
So I don't think we'll ever be. Certainly not at the moment. But I think we're capable of getting to a quarterfinals next year.
We should be. That should be the minimum.
That's where I think we're at.
Yeah.
If we get to a semi, then. Fabulous, right? A semi. Yeah.
Sorry, are you laughing at the word semi?
No,
the fact that England might make it
laughing at the fact that if Jason ever gets to a semi, it'd be fabulous.
Wait, no, you're laughing if Roy has a semi. That's
what we were talking about that the other night. Is he too old for a semi? Yeah. Never gets old, that gag.
Eh?
Never gets old, that gag.
No, never. No.
Lovely joke.
No, it's my wife's favourite.
She loves a semi.
Gag. She loves a semi. She can't do without one.
If Roy gets a semi,
yeah,
next year,
the way you've changed to has one now.
If he gets a semi, and that will be a great achievement.
I guess he'd be over the moon.
Back of the net.
He'd be thrilled.
Let's move on. Let's get.
Yeah, okay, let's move on. We'll move on from England. We're going to do Noel's top 10. We've got about 20 minutes left of the show. That's all. So we'll do his top 10 in just a moment. And if you have got any questions that legally we can ask him, not about semis, or maybe you can, use the hashtag AskNoel. Tweet me AndyGolstein05. It's a good one. This I like this one.
That's a belter.
Yeah. Hey, turn it up a bit, Ash. It's a bit tune, isn't it? Turn it up a bit, Ash.
This is that glorious.
Yeah, go on, one more. Come on, we'll get to the chorus. Come on, Figs. Lift it, lift it.
Second do 9 quid, so...
Hey, we owe him money. Turn it off quickly.
You're lucky. Normally we play music around this time. It's back in time. And there's some
we're not doing
noises that normally.
Do you keep the final draft of a song? Do you keep them all?
Yeah.
You got them all?
The only batch of songs I haven't got, I slung in the bin, was the Morning Glory ones, because I wrote them in the studio, and I never thought that album would become what it is, and yeah, I binned them all. But I've got loads of books with all bits of lyrics all over the place.
Okay, all right. Are you writing songs at the moment?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to tell us anything?
I'm writing songs at the moment.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Have you got the stuff from Blanking in the Bushes? Have you got that? The original stuff of that?
There are no words in it.
No, but the notes on a bit of paper, the original.
The note, probably got the studio notes somewhere. Yeah.
Just saying, it's
Yeah.
my show. It's quite close to me. Peter.
Yeah. Loving in the Bushes.
Birthday's coming up. So.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got some I thought they were questions for no. It's not. It's why you're listening. Right, we'll do your top 10. Okay. So this is going to be about your career, not about football, because we've done football to death now. And feel free to elaborate as much as you want on the answer.
Okay.
All right. Question number 1. What's your favourite ever song? Not by Oasis, not that you've written, unless one is.
Right.
But what's your favourite ever song?
There's no such thing, is there? I can only tell you what my favourite ever song is today, or right now, and I'm thinking of it. I think my favourite ever song would be... Some might say by Oasis, just
Because you've just heard it.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
heard you on Desert Island Discs
Oh, yeah?
with Kirsty Young.
Yeah.
Is it Kirsty Young?
Yeah.
She's quite a foxy lady.
She is indeed.
Yeah, you enjoy that?
I did enjoy it, yeah. It was a good...
You're talking like we're playing the yes and no game and I'm trying to get you to say one of them.
All right, okay. It was good.
Did.
I did enjoy it, yeah. It was a good couple of hours.
Good
Fun.
songs, good tunes on it. Question number 2. What's the favourite song that you've ever written?
I think my favourite song that I've ever written. Some might say it's pretty good. Live Forever's pretty good. Slide Away, Something Supernova, Don't Look Back in Anger, Everybody's on the Run. Too many to mention.
There isn't one favourite one?
Not really.
Have you ever woken up like Paul McCartney supposedly did with, I think it was Yesterday, in his head? Have you ever woken up with a song in the middle of the night? And
No. It was called Scrambled Eggs for a bit yesterday, wasn't it?
Is that true?
Yeah, I preferred it if it's scrambled eggs. So he said it was true.
Do you keep a? I know where you'll go with this, but do you keep a pad by the bed? In case you do wake up, it doesn't matter. Forget it. Don't even bother. No, don't.
As I'm just a sparring with the wife.
What's the best gig? Is question number 3 you've ever performed at? Your favourite gig?
Was the 2 gigs at Main Road in 1995, because it's the first time we'd done a football stadium, and I think we'd only signed off 18 months before. We were doing Main Road.
You just signed off the dole 18 months before.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, they were like, it was a great weekend. I was like thinking, this is it now. I'm definitely want a chimp after this, and a top hat, and I want a mirrored Rolls Royce and a couple of stalkers.
Yeah, he had a stalker. Would you take a semi
I've
or
had
a
a stalker. Yeah, she's German actually. Yeah, seriously, she's German.
What do you mean? I've had a stalker and she's German.
She's German. She's recently,
proper lunatic.
Yeah, a proper lunatic. Yeah.
How proper?
Like knocking on, like breaking into hotels and stuff. Yeah, and like shouting underneath the door. I know, like as I'm calling my security guard, get this head case out of here. And she's like, I know you're in there.
Does she look like a nutcase?
She's not the most attractive woman, I've got to say.
If she was, would that change things?
It always changes things, doesn't it?
Come in.
No, it wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Not now.
Just
anyway.
quickly going back to the Main Road, how many people?
I think it was 45,000.
Right.
Yeah, it's bigger crowds than City we're getting at the time. What?
Yeah.
What did that feel like? Because of course you grew up watching Man City, and to be effectively on the pitch playing there.
It was great. It really was. There's a brilliant photograph of me shot from the back of the stage where it's just before the gig starts, going out to the stage, and everybody in the grounds on the kipaks and everybody in the main stand and the north stand is on their feet. It's a brilliant moment in time. It was great. And I'll always remember it for Neil Lennon, who was then on City's books, had a fight in our dressing room with Steve Lomas and Terry Phelan, and we had to go to Villa the next day to win to stay up, and they were round in the dressing room. We all stood there thinking, this is so typical. This is so typical of our football club.
What were they round about?
Oh, being ginger, I don't know. Who knows?
What's your best album?
Oasis album?
No, your best album.
Oh, of all time? Oh.
No. One that you've been either High Flying Birds or Oasis.
Oh, okay. My best album, I think. In the words of Alan Partridge, I think the best of Oasis is probably my best album.
Oh, come on. Is there one that you think, you know what, if...
Definitely maybe Take Some Beating. Just a shame it was the first one.
And what about, other than yours?
If push comes to shove...
Who's that by?
That's by Salt and Pepper. My favourite
I heard
album.
you talking about Joshua Tree, you too, Joshua Tree.
I love the Joshua Tree. I love The Wall by Pink Floyd. I love Nevermind the Bollocks by Sex Pistols. I love the Stone Roses' first album. I'm going to go for the best of the Beatles.
What was the song that you said that you can't play to your wife anymore because it drives her bonkers?
Oh, Let's Dance by David Bowie. Yeah, she's told me and I've ruined it. You've ruined it for me.
How often do you play that? Is it daily? Is it the alarm clock?
Do you know when you do that, when you put your thing on shuffle, it always seems to come on. It always seems to come on. Yeah, I have ruined it. Yeah, never mind. Not for me, for her though.
Now this would be an interesting one. What's your longest drinking session?
Oh, there was a just drinking.
Okay, what's your longest session? Just drinking.
Well, it's different, isn't it? There was a 3-day one in Detroit, like a night after a gig.
Hold on, so you did the gig?
Yeah, and there was all night, and then all day and night the next day, and then all day and night the day after that, and then went to hospital the day after that. Seriously, got taken to hospital. Yeah, I thought I was having a heart attack.
You probably were.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't having a heart attack. I was having a, yeah, and I remember getting taken there in an ambulance and having to go through a metal detector in this hospital in Detroit. As a like skinny English guy, you know, he's obviously been up for 3 days, and he'd been frisked for weapons, and you're going, no, I think I'm dying. They're just
How bad did it get? Were you like hallucinating? What happens after 3 days and nights?
Oh, brilliant stuff. Yeah, great stuff.
Can you say any of it on the radio?
And funnily enough, they gave me some Valium to calm me down, sent me on. Then that night we went to see Pulp Fiction.
Oh my god! Are you sure you weren't in it?
It was brilliant. Yeah. Well,
can you still do it? Not that, but can you still go for it?
I go for it on average. I'd say once a month. The hangovers now are just at least 2 or 3 days.
What's your cure for a hangover? Is there one?
Just get back on it. That's the only way.
Hair of the dog, yeah.
It
works.
Yeah, is get back on it and take it from there. Work backwards from a pint of Guinness.
Who's the best drinker you've ever been out with?
Bono.
And does he just keeps going? He doesn't stop.
Unbelievable.
He's quite small, isn't he? I wonder where he puts it all.
He's compact.
And Bijou.
He's compact. He's a brilliant. See, there's drinking, and then there's Irish drinking. And when you get involved in that, it can be a bit of a test.
You see the best number in your phone still? I remember asking you that question about 3 or 4 years ago.
Got a few Hollywood A-listers in there now, mate.
Did you get those numbers?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got McCartney's?
No.
Right.
No. Stella's. I've got Stella McCartney's.
I mean, that counts, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, it's a McCartney, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not big on the top trump list, but
it'll do.
Yeah. Come on, what other ones you got in there? You told a great story once when you said Mandela came round your house. You remember that? And I said, what happened? You went, I don't know, I was out. That was fantastic.
No, let's not do this.
Okay,
no, I've got loads though.
Oh, okay. Okay, give us the strangest celeb story.
Oh, come on.
Apart from the one you told us in the break. Strange celeb story.
The Balotelli one's pretty good.
That's
that is
fantastic.
the classic.
We play that a lot on the show.
The one I've just told you is pretty good. The 3 I've just told you pretty good. Best celeb story.
Because, you know, you said before, like, you went to George Michael's party. You didn't necessarily know him, but for some reason you're invited to this person's house.
I'd met him before at this
No, I know,
mutual
but
friend's
it's
house,
bizarre, isn't it? You just go to someone's house, you don't really know them.
Totally.
Like, why would you do that?
Because it's showbiz.
I know, but I'm just saying it's it's an absolutely barking scenario.
It's great though. That well, I don't know. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what we do. We could put it together with a story that we call it here goes on tour, doesn't stay on tour. So you can tell us a story that's happened to either you or someone you know. You don't need to name them or the year or the country. Just tell us a story and call them Rockstar A.
Oh.
You can change all the identities to keep it safe.
Okay. All right. Let me see how can I word this. This is brilliant. These two guys. Can I say this?
Yeah.
Yeah. It involves pornography.
That's all right.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, right then. Right, the gloves are off. These two guys are in a band walking around Amsterdam, and they're walking past...
Are they brothers?
No, they're just
We're
in
all thinking that.
No. They're just in a band,
Okay.
and they're looking for hardcore pornography, and they go into this shop, and
What, so can I say? Do you mean of the written variety, or do you mean physically?
DVDs, as
Right,
I'm
okay.
led to believe, and they walk past, and there's something in the window, and one of them says to the other, "No way! I can't believe they've got that kind of gear. Right, I'm having that." So they go in and they say to the and the fella, they ask the fella for the DVD, and the fella comes out and says, "Oh wow, you're into this. This is, you know, this is right."
Where's this going?
Right, he says. So the guy
be
gets
careful.
the DVD and he says, and he looks at it on the picture closely, and he says, "Oh, I'm not having that." He said, "It's people smeared in feces, right?" And the other guy in the back. Oh, anyway, that was the Andy Goldstein show, which is probably the last one that's ever going to happen here now. So I've been Noel Gallagher. Thank you very much. Sweet dreams. That's a true story. That's a true story. Yeah, like, oh, I'm not having that.
What sort of people you hanging about with?
I'll tell you when the red light goes off.
Right, we've got 2 questions left. We better get these out in case this is our last ever show. Okay, 3 questions left. Quickly, the biggest waste of money you spent on one item?
£110,000 on a vintage Jaguar Mark II convertible. I've yet to have a single driving lesson. I bought it in 1996. It was specifically made for me, and it cost me 110 grand, and I can't drive. All right.
Okay. Question number 9. Greatest ever feeling you've had in your career was what?
Walking out on stage at Main Road. That was pretty good. Oh, and the goal, the Aguero goal.
All right.
The day we won the league.
Remember that feeling, all right? This is question number 10, last one. Remember that feeling. Is your wife listening tonight?
Oh, good God, no.
You sure? She texts me saying I listen to the Sports all the time.
No, I know for a fact she doesn't listen to Talksport.
All right, okay. What's a better feeling? The one you just mentioned, either the Main Road or the Aguero.
Yeah.
Feeling, right? What's a better fit, that or sex?
Sex.
No, you've been absolutely wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming in. A real pleasure
Very
seeing you.
nearly said. No, I won't say it.
No, don't say it. If you missed any of this chat, of course, you can go to the website talksport.com, or you can go onto iTunes. We'll download the best of it, or all of it, on the Andy Goldstein Sports Bar Best Bits podcast. That's it for me and Jay. Jay, say goodnight.
Good night, gang. See you tomorrow.
Thank you again, Noel.
Thank you very much.
Magic stuff. Here's Mike Graham. We'll see you tomorrow at 10.